Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. I came across another headline that I wanted to share with you. Senators introduce legislation to expand pre-enrollment for combat veterans. Great. Pre-enrollment into what? And let's find out what's going on. I'm excited to share this with you. Please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. If you want to support the channel in other ways, please consider being a member. You can do so going to the homepage. There's a highlighted members section. There should be a join button that you can click on there. The two asks are really, look, hit the thumbs up, let the video run. That's how we can help ensure that we all know what's going on, because guess what? Veterans have been blinded for way too long. It's not until very recently that we're actually figuring out that there are a lot of benefits out there that we have no clue about, and it's up to us to really educate ourselves. So here we are, and here I am trying to do the best that I can, but I need your help to do so. So hitting that thumbs up and letting the video run is how you can help as well. All right, so this just came out January 10th. Moving on, Senators Kramer, King introduce legislation to expand pre-enrollment for combat veterans. And this is directly from the Senator's website, Kevin Kramer, and want to, so it's from the horse's mouth, so to speak. So this is their press release. Under the Combat Veterans Pre-Enrollment Act of 2023, veterans currently serving in a theater of combat operations will be eligible to pre-enroll into the Veterans Healthcare Administration system 6 months prior to their discharge. Right now, what I'm going to tell you is it sounds like they are basically mirroring the BDD timeline. So for those that don't know, if you are currently in service, you can file a claim with the VA up to 6 months prior to your discharge or retirement date, whatever it is. Not your terminal leave, but your actual date of release, whether it's retirement or just your discharge date. So that is under a benefits delivery at discharge, and here it looks like they're pushing this enrollment into the Healthcare Administration to a 6 months prior to discharge as well, which I highly encourage everyone to do. This way, moving on, this way they can use VA medical care immediately upon separation instead of waiting to enroll 1 day post-separation. Each year, more than 200,000 service members transition from the military to civilian life. Under existing law, transitioning service members must wait until they have left the service and receive their official separation paperwork, your DD-214 typically, which can take months to apply for Veterans Health Administration, healthcare, and other services, creating an unacceptable period where veterans do not have access to the healthcare benefits they earned. U.S. Senator Kevin Kramer joined U.S. Senators Angus King, Mike Rounds, Joe Manchin in introducing the Bipartisan Combat Veterans Pre-Enrollment Act of 2023, which will cover up to 13,000 active duty individuals according to preliminary estimates. Now we got a couple quotes here. Our combat veterans risk their lives to fight for our freedoms and way of life, said Kramer. Allowing service members to pre-enroll for VA healthcare before separation instead of afterward provides continuity of care rather than being stuck in bureaucratic blockage or backlogs. We must ensure our combat veterans' transition to civilian life includes immediate health care coverage without delay. Agreed. Studies have shown the first year of a service member's transition to civilian life is the most difficult and a time when they are at higher risk to commit suicide. By allowing service members who... Now look, I'm going to continue this paragraph, then I have an important nugget that I'm going to share with you. So please hang on. Just going to finish this paragraph. By allowing service members who have served in combat to pre-enroll in VHA care, they have access to all the mental and physical care they deserve immediately upon separation, helping to mitigate impacts of PTSD and reducing the risk of suicide. That concludes the article, but let me tell you this. There is a presumptive period, and for those that don't know what presumptive is, I'll touch on that in a second, that many veterans are not aware of. And it is the 1 year after discharge time window that the VA will presume the majority of disease and illnesses, not injuries, right? If you get hurt after you get out, that's different. But if all of a sudden you developed migraines, or you developed GERD, or something like that, or some arthritis, right? Those types of things, if you develop them within 1 year of your discharge, then the VA will presume, in most cases, that it is service-connected, meaning that you get to eliminate the need for a nexus. The nexus is a big stickler for many veterans. Why? Because we do not document much when we are in. Because we don't want the stigma, we don't want the hassle, we just want to push through and make it happen, right? So then you get out. And what happens is you get out and you don't really go to a doctor because you're trying to figure out life, right? I need to find a new place to live. I need to do this. I need to buy some furniture. You know, I got a family. I need to find a job. I need to do good at my job. Maybe I have 2 jobs, right? So you are not really thinking about self-care that first year. I think most people can agree. So what happens is that 1 year window of presumptive disappears. Then finally, 2-3 years in, you decide, you know what, man, I've been having these migraines, and you go in finally, and now you get diagnosed, and you get maybe a prescription. But now, if you want to file a claim for that, you need to somehow build a bridge back to your time in service. Now, the beauty of this piece of legislation here is that you will automatically be able to enroll while you're still in, right? Takes kind of the pressure off of jumping around. Bam, you go get enrolled. Now that you're enrolled and you have it in place, maybe you're more apt to actually utilizing it instead of trying to figure it out. You've already got it set up. And now if you go get diagnosed for something that you weren't diagnosed with while you were in, it could potentially be a service-connected condition based on the 1 year presumptive rules that the VA has in place that, again, many veterans are just not even aware of. So I think that this is great. I think that hopefully what this will do will allow veterans, as they discharge, to get enrolled, get seen, and be able to document a few things in a different environment. You're no longer in the military. You don't have to worry about the stigma, although it's still in your head a little bit, but you're more apt to being a little more truthful with your circumstance, right? My back hurts, my neck, I got migraines, I got GERD, whatever, right? So you're going through all of that stuff, and maybe some of those things now will translate over and be able to become service connected, especially utilizing that 1 year presumptive. And again, just for giggles, for those that don't know, the 3 kind of pillars for a claim to get approved are: you have to have your time in service. That creates that window. Number 2, you have to have a diagnosed condition. Number 3 is that nexus. You need to prove that your condition either manifested during your time in service or is a result of your service. Now, with a presumptive, it eliminates the need for the nexus. Now you simply show, I served during this time, and I have this condition. Now, the presumptive window of that 1 year basically extends your window of opportunity, entry date, exit date, plus 1 year for some conditions, not all, right? And you fall down, you get in a car wreck, something happens to you, you break your arm after you get out. That is obviously not service connected. Now, again, this world is filled with nuance. So if you fell down because you have a service-connected bad leg, now that broken arm and messed up arm that you now have could potentially become service-connected because it was a secondary effect. So whatever, filled with nuance, right? So the bottom line is that this is a great piece of legislation, and I think that we should support it. Like with any piece of legislation, I strongly encourage you, if you agree with it, to reach out to your congressional members and let them know that you do support the Combat Veterans Pre-Enrollment Act of 2023. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.